Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be travelling to Australia and we're going to be flying into Sydney. It's a 23-hour flight flying on BA0015 and it's a Saturday night. We leave tonight at 9 p.m. and we arrive in Sydney on Monday morning about 6 a.m. So this is a brutal flight whichever way you look at it. I am making it a little bit easier today. I'm going to be flying business class and I'm going to take you on the whole journey from Heathrow, show you the lounge, show you what's going on here, and then on the plane. The plane stops in Singapore. We get off for about 45 minutes, then get back on, and then continue our journey on to Sydney. So yeah, not really looking forward to this. One of the things I would say with business class is it's probably the greatest example of having a class system that still exists. You queue in a different queue to everyone else. You get on the plane first, you get off the plane first, your luggage comes off first, so it's great. From a convenience point of view, it's great, but the rest of it, I can kind of take it or leave it. Just to give an example, once when I was on a Virgin flight, the steward came over and said, when you're ready to go to sleep, I'll make your bed for you. And I just find things like that a little bit odd. And during the flight, you had the people stood up and got the steward to make their bed for them so they could lie down in it. And I just find things like that a little bit odd. But we're going to take you on the journey today, show you the kind of highs and lows of this this trip. So let's go. On the left there you have economy, and on the right you have Club World, which is business. And the main difference between this queue, economy, and this queue, business, other than the fact that it's a shorter queue, is that these people over on this side are paid to be nice to you. So you tend to get a slightly better experience when you go over here. Right, so we're gonna go through security now. Heathrow T5 has this little thing where you have these little men that tells you how busy it is in the north or south security. So today it's 3 men, which is the busiest it gets, I think. But we're going to head through there now. Got ages, so it doesn't matter. Right, so through security, took about 5 minutes. I'm just going to have a little bit wander around the shops and then go into the lounge. So we're going to go into the lounge now. And the thing with lounges, I can sort of take them or leave them. I just find them a bit boring, to be honest. If I'm going on a long flight, I want to sort of be out walking around the shops, sort of stretching my legs a bit. So they're a bit dull. They're also, again, a little bit pretentious. Well, you actually get a kind of good mix of people in there. You get the people who are very much like, I'm in the lounge and I should be in the lounge and I'm very important. And then you get the people who, it's their first time ever in the lounge. And these are the kind of people I like, because they're just like rabbit in headlights, don't really know what's going on, don't know where anything is. And yeah, they're loving their time in the lounge. Then about half an hour later they realise, actually it's pretty crap in here, the food's crap and there's nothing to do. So yeah, let's go and head into the lounge now. At Heathrow there's 2 lounges, or T5 there's 2 lounges. There's a North lounge, which is just as you come through security on the upper floor. And then there's a South lounge, which is the one we're going to go in. And that's on the lower floor at the one end of the terminal. My guess is that it's going to be incredibly busy in there as well. Which is another reason not really to go in there. Right, so in order to come into this lounge, you either need to have a BA Silver membership or BA Gold membership, or travel in business, which is what I'm doing today, so I can come in here. Because of COVID, I've actually slipped back down to BA Blue membership. After this flight, I'll move back up to BA Silver, which means that I'll be able to come in this lounge if I want to. I probably won't, but I'll be able to come in this lounge whichever flight I'm going on, no matter what class I'm flying, as long as I'm flying a British Airways flight. First mistake I've made there, I've tried to get into first class. So you need to come back down here to get into business class. So, and this one down here is really special. This is the Concorde room. Not been in there, but that's the first class room. So in order to get into the business class lounge, you've got to come up another flight of stairs. Randomly, there's a horse. And there is a picture, not a picture, a model of a BA plane. No idea why there's a horse there, but this is where you go. You have to go up to this desk and speak to these people, they let you in. First thing you notice when you come in here is it's a lot more chill. It's just very, very quiet. It's not actually looking too busy. loads of alcohol. You just have as much as you want. You've got this like central food area here. So I've got like salads. More salad. Sandwiches, drinks, chicken. Loads of wine here. Loads more wine over here. Hot food. These are like tea, coffee, biscuits. Right, that's enough of that. As I say, it's quite boring in there, but what it is good for is when your flight is delayed, and that is the position that I find myself in. Flight is delayed by 35 minutes currently, and honestly, when you're on a long flight like this, the last thing you want is a delay. It just adds to the pain, but we move on. So we've arrived at these B terminals. It's like a remote terminal. What I find is when you get on these flights, if you're flying in business class, you can get on first. It's called like group 1 to 3, and you can just get on first. And I never really get it, because in business class, you've got so much room in the overhead lockers. You've got no worries really. Yeah, you've got absolutely no worries about getting on the plane, and people want to get on there first. And I think you're going to be on this plane 14 hours. Why do you want to get on there so quick? So I tend to wait as long as I can and then get on. Right, so my strategy for this flight is basically to try and fall asleep as soon as I get on it. Now, it might not make a lot of sense really, because that's actually daytime in Australia, so I'd be better off trying to stay awake on this one and then fall asleep on the next one. Problem with that is I'm quite a routine person. What I'd end up doing is staying awake on this one and staying awake on the next one. So I just want to try and sleep when I can, sleep when I want to. That's fine, that's the best strategy. And then when I get to Australia, probably get there about 6, 7 a.m. in the morning. My goal is to try and stay awake all day, and then hopefully by the time the night time comes in Australian time, that will be morning our time, I want to go to sleep. But I don't know, let's see. This jet lag is never easy, however you try to tackle it, but just got to get on with it really. Something else I haven't mentioned on the channel before is I am actually a type 1 diabetic, and this flight is gonna, well, this whole trip is proper gonna screw me up, because basically breakfast times, dinner time, lunch times in the middle of the night, it's gonna be painful trying to go through this. And if anyone listening has got this, you'll understand what I'm talking about, but it's gonna be a right old pain. I sound like I'm just moaning all the time, to be honest, on this channel, which maybe I just do a lot of moaning, but when you're sat here on a Saturday night and you're going to Australia on your own, the flight's delayed, you've got 23 hours ahead of you, it is crap. And I know people will look at this and go, you ungrateful, whatever, but it's not really me. I just not interested. But anyway, let's go. I think the plane is starting to board now. All of the people who eager beavers and want to get on there are getting on. And then there's about 200 other people that are just going to sit there and wait, and I'm going to try and leave it for as long as I can, but not right to the end.
And then I drove myself across the top half.
And we're on. I'm British Airways flights, you have this, I'm sort of whispering to people getting on, but you have this really weird setup where this is your little space and then someone is sat there right opposite you. And when you're taking off and landing, you just sort of like sit opposite them and you sort of go, all right. You both look at each other and then the flight takes off and you press this button and your little window comes up so you don't have to look at them anymore. But it's kind of odd at takeoff and landing. I find it a little bit weird. Anyway, this is my little area for the next 14 hours.
British Airways flight to Singapore, travelling on to
The windows heat.
Sydney.
The other thing that's kind of odd is that I'm actually going to be flying backwards. So when this thing starts moving, I'm going backwards rather than forwards. Some people don't like that. It don't really bother me, to be honest. Once you're up in the air, you can't really tell. But so I've arrived in Singapore. I don't feel too bad at the moment, but I think the worst is yet to come. We've got 40 minutes in this terminal before we get back on that same plane again, sit in that same seat for another 8 hours. It feels incredibly colourful, I would say, compared to most terminals. And it's got carpet, which is kind of unusual for a terminal. Right, so my aim is to try to go to the Qantas Lounge. That's what I've read online. If I go to the Qantas Lounge, I might be able to get a shower, but I've actually got no idea where it is. Maybe I'll just try up here. Qantas Lounge. That was a bit of luck. Sort of stumbled across it. Okay, so that was a waste of time. They don't have any showers free. Let's try the BA Lounge. So we've come to the BA Lounge and they've got a shower. So I've got about 10 minutes to get in the shower and get back on that plane. It's actually pretty cool in it. It provides you with toothbrush, toothpaste, a comb, a shaving set, everything you need to kind of clean, hairdryer, provides you with the shower gel, shampoo. It's actually pretty good. So arrived in Singapore. I can actually show my face on the camera now. I actually look some sort of presentable state. I managed to get a shower, which is a complete bonus because after you've been asleep in a plane for like 13 hours and you know you've got to get on another kind of 8-hour flight, it's really nice to be able to come off and get a shower. You don't have a lot of time, to be honest. You've got 40 minutes once you're off the plane to get what you need to get done and then get back on the plane again. And it's a little bit of a walk from the plane to the lounges. First of all, I went in the Qantas Lounge because I read online that they always have loads of free showers, much more than the BA Lounge. But I went in there and it's completely full, so I ran back out again, went in the BA Lounge and they had one shower free. Quickly jumped in it, and it's actually a pretty good experience. And that's one of the benefits of flying business, is that you can just go in and get a shower If you're flying in economy, obviously you don't get that. You wait in the terminal and then get back on. What I'm going to do now is just make my way back down to the back down to the gate. As I said before, everything's just so bright and colourful here. Um, all of the shops are all different colours. If you compare it to like Heathrow looks quite vanilla compared to this. I actually quite like it. So I think from the gate to the business class lounge, it's about a 5-minute walk. I kind of got a bit lucky really. I was just walking along and saw a sign for it and just went up an escalator and it was there. So a little bit lucky, because I think that's another benefit of flying business class is you're the first ones off the plane. So you can actually run to the lounge and get in that shower before everyone else. So quite amazingly, I've come back to the gate from the shower and already people are queuing to get back on the flight. It looks like you have to queue and you have to go back through security just to get into the gate. But it's a very quick turnaround for this flight. Like I say, if you're going to get a shower, run, get it done and get back here. I'm going to try and leave it as long as I can to get back on though, because I want to sort of stretch my legs a little bit. So I had actually hoped to do some more recording on that flight, but it's incredibly noisy, and the other thing is it was just dark throughout the whole flight, and this is quite a weird sort of flight experience because you're basically always flying in the dark. You leave Heathrow at 9:10 and it's just dark the whole time you're here, and then you get here in Singapore and you're getting on again at night time, well evening, so it's going to be flying overnight again, and it's going to be dark the whole time. So, arrived in Sydney, now just waiting for my luggage, and that was a surprisingly easy getting through the customs. Didn't even have to speak to anyone, just came through, used an e-gate and just walked through, and that was it. Pretty straightforward. Hey everyone, so I've arrived in Sydney. I didn't actually do much recording at the airport because of security, and it just they seem to have a lot of checks there. Yeah, the process at the airport was really straightforward. I just kind of use one of those e-gates. So you just print off this little ticket thing that they give you, and then you just walk through an e-gate, no checks, and then you go through. And they're quite concerned here about the bringing in soil and animal stuff and things like that. And you can get random checks on your suitcase, but that didn't happen to me, so it's all good. I just think just a quick review on the BA flight. I think all in all, good flight. It didn't feel like I was on it for 24 hours or 23 hours. It felt less than that. I think having the shower in Singapore really did help. So if you do fly business, make sure you try and do that. In terms of the actual plane itself, I had a pretty good seat. So as you would have seen from the video, I basically had 3 windows to myself, so that's the sort of size of the area that you have. If you think about it, it's basically the same size as 3 rows on a normal plane, and I'd say it's probably about 1.5 seats wide, and you've just got that to yourself, so you're in your own little den, which is nice. But yeah, I mean, the trip is brutal. It feels like I'm a long way from home, but you know, I'm only here for a week. Hopefully I'll get to do some more videoing. I am just going to quickly show you this hotel room I'm in, because I've got to my hotel and they've upgraded me, and it is pretty mental. So I'm just going to quickly show you it. So I walked in the hotel room here, the door, and I sort of walked in, and then you're presented straight away with a TV and a little sofa. It's just a bit odd, and I thought, what the hell's this? And you sort of come through here and you've got like a massive bathroom, shower, a bath. Again, I don't know who has baths in hotels. Not for me. But look at this view over the Sydney harbour. This has got like dual aspect. I'm on a corner, and you see like the skyscrapers here, and then it overlooks the harbour. And the view from this room is something else. and then usual bed, stuff like that. But yeah, it's all about the view really. So anyway, thanks for listening. Hopefully you found it interesting. And I'll do some more videoing hopefully while I'm here in Sydney. My goal now is to try and stay awake for the whole of today before going to sleep. Let's see if I can manage that. But thanks for listening. See you soon.